3 reasons why the Promised Neverland series disappointed me after the first arc. Disclaimer. Before I begin this video, let me just say that the intention of this video is not to make a rant about the series. I really like the series, and over the years I've made various video essays praising it and analyzing it, and I have recommended it to many people. This video will focus more on how the elements of dread and horror, which the series was famous for, were significantly reduced and almost disappeared past the first arc of the manga. This video is relatively spoiler-free, and if you've watched the trailer for the second season of the anime, you're good to go. You're okay to watch this. Also, this video is primarily about the manga, so don't start accusing me if the anime fixes all of these points. Reason number 1. Loss of the horror element. Now, this is a bit subjective, but if you ask me, the horror of the Promised Neverland in the first season, or the first arc of the manga, was tied to the closed spaces our protagonists were in. The orphanage was essentially a cage, and whenever our protagonists moved from the garden to the building, there was this feeling that they were constantly watched. There was this atmosphere of dread and impending doom. If their mom found out what they were planning, it was game over. This tense atmosphere would never return to the series, since once the orphans escaped, they were out in open areas where they could hide, run, and lay low for a while. No matter how dark or depressing an open area is, it is still an open area. In fact, in some arcs, the kids are perfectly safe in areas where the demons cannot even reach. This loss of the horror element is enhanced by my next point. The villains stopped being competent, and therefore scary. Plus, we got to see them a lot more often. Remember how in the first arc the demons were these terrifying creatures that rarely appeared in the panels and had this dreadful aura of mystery around them? I remember. In the first arc, it was made clear that the orphans needed to stay away from these monsters, and their only hope was to run and hide. The characters and the readers knew that any encounter with these beasts could only have one result: death. In the following arcs, however, we were exposed to these demons more and more, and we learned a lot of details about them. Their nature, the structure of their society, what they could, and most importantly, what they could not do. And not only that, the orphans keep on running into the demons and, well, they make it out most of the times. Sure, they do receive a lot of help, and in many cases they barely survive, but the threat of their pursuers becomes more manageable. The demons are not particularly smart. In fact, one could argue that Ray and Emma are smarter than most, if not all of the demons, and their towering build actually proves to be a disadvantage for the demons when chasing the kids, since the orphans can outrun them and fit through spaces they cannot. With every encounter and every reveal about the demon race, I could feel myself losing interest in them, and not really viewing them as eldritch abominations, but more as generic fantasy monsters. How would I fix this? Well, simple. Have it so if an orphan encounters a demon, they die. I mean, it's not like all the escaped orphans helped progress the narrative or something, so yeah, that could really establish the demons as this powerful monsters that you cannot face. Reason number 3. The world outside the farm is actually kind of boring. Oh man, again with the member berries. Remember how in the first arc of the manga, the kids would wonder what the outside world looks like? And remember how Ray would remind Norman and Emma that once they leave the orphanage, all bets would be off? That they would encounter things that they had never even dreamed of? Yeah, what happened to that? I mean, I have to be fair, there were some cool monster designs and maybe one well-designed location, but that's just a forest, man. There's nothing otherworldly about a dark forest. Think about it. The orphans were raised in a seemingly ordinary farm, but this was done to ensure that they would grow up like previous generations of humans. The farms were simulations in order to allow the orphans' brains to have a healthy development. So the outside world could be straight out of a H.P. Lovecraft novel or a surrealist painting. It could feature massive dark cathedrals and obelisks, or empty cities filled with ghosts and undead. Or what if the outside world didn't obey to the laws of physics and had a more abstract surrealist design? What if it looked like the witch's world from Madoka Magica? Yeah, I know, designing such a weird world could alienate readers and make progressing the story incredibly difficult, but it would provide a unique and horrifying experience. Again, I want to highlight that I really like this series, and if you like it, well, cool dude, you and me have a good taste apparently. But just because I like it, that doesn't mean I'm going to ignore the areas where it could have improved upon, or some of its pitfalls. Leave a comment in the comment section down below, and let's have a discussion on the issue. What do you think that the series could have improved upon? Regardless of whether you agree with me or not, if you found this video entertaining and logical, you might want to check out my Ray analysis video. Or if you want to remember the complete list of the orphans, check out this video. Also remember to hit like and smash the subscribe button. Oh, and hit that bell notification, guys. Have an amazing day, and until next time, my fellow orphans.